Hi guys, my name is Christine, and today I'm talking about finding meaning in your life and why I believe that finding meaning in your life is one of the most essential pieces of life advice anyone could give you. And basically, I'm going to give you my take on that. So, I have a question for you, and that is, do you have something that inspires you? Do you have something that really stirs your emotions and makes you really want to get up and do whatever it is that you need to do? Right? Do you have something like that in your life? Because I think having something like that in your life is essential, right? It really is. Especially if you have been going through a long period of having poor mental health issues, or perhaps you've been stuck in a rut and you're kind of feeling a bit jaded about life. Like, it can be either or. Like, it can be at the more extreme end, right, of like mental health issues, or it could be on the lower end where it's not that as intense. Obviously, I'm not a medical professional, but I really do believe that having something that inspires you, that helps you get up every day, is important, right? It's important for everybody, okay? It's important for everybody to have something like that, okay? So, for different people, it's going to mean different things. Like, there are people out there that are, find meaning through their spouse. So that could be like their main thing. That could be the thing that really helps them get up in the morning because they have that strong love for their spouse. It could be the fact that they have kids. It could be your kids. Maybe that's the reason. That's a lot of reasons why some parents get up in the morning, because of their kids, and that really inspires them, the love for their kids. Or for some people, if you're more entrepreneurial, it could be your business. It could be the things that you're working towards, the things that you're trying to create. An artist, it's their art, so everyone has their own little thing, right? Their own little thing that really inspires them, right? And sometimes, one of the ways that you can sort of stir this up is, and what you can kind of, how you can kind of figure out basically as well, what you're really passionate about, is if you put on like some inspirational music, or some music that that really gets you fired up. It could be something that you listen to while you're at the gym and stuff. When you're listening to that piece of music, whatever that piece of music is that really gets you going, what are you imagining, right? Because usually when I know for me especially, right, I could be just talking about myself here, but when I listen to a specific piece of music, or inspirational music, I'm usually picturing different things, and it's usually about my career and things like that. So I'm usually thinking about those kinds of things, and that really gets me pumped up, that really inspires me. So what do you think when you hear like an inspirational song? What are you picturing? What are you seeing yourself doing, right? Because that's usually what it is, right? That's usually what you'll find that your passion is, right? Okay, so on the other end of that, sometimes it might not be as, let's say, as nice as that, right? Because sometimes what really inspires people, what really helps people get going and work on their dreams and their passions and things, is anger, right? Have you got something to prove, right? To yourself or to someone else? Maybe you want to prove someone wrong, right? Like, perhaps you got rejected when you was a kid, when you was in high school or college or something like that. And you want to prove that person wrong, that they made the wrong choice in losing you and rejecting you or dumping you or something like that. And sometimes that can be a strong enough catalyst to get someone to get up in the morning and change their life and create a better circumstance for themselves. Right? It could be they use that fuel to get really fit in the gym, so they look like they look like a Greek god or an Adonis, right? Because they want to look really good, so they can prove that person wrong and stuff like that. Or they want to create a really successful business and become wealthier, so that that person that hurt them feels regret in that way. Now, it might not be anything to do with romance. It could be proving a parent wrong, right, or something like that, or another kind of relative, or even a friend that perhaps maybe you lost contact with, or perhaps a friend that you may still have that doesn't believe in you, right? So sometimes you can use the lighter side of things, or you can use the dark side, right? And I think it's important to realize that if you are going to channel the darker energies of like revenge and things like that, it's important not to, obviously, it's something you do for yourself. It's not something that you're going to shove, like really shove in someone's face, or, bully someone or hurt someone intentionally. It's just something that you use as a tool, basically, as fuel to get you going so you can reach your goals. So in essence, it's really got not that much to do with them, but it's just the inspiration of that really helps you get going, basically. And I think that's really important, and that can be really helpful too, as long as you're not hurting anyone else in the process, right? You see, right? So so basically what you need to figure out then is what would make your life meaningful, because perhaps you don't know, right? Perhaps you're not sure on how you can create something meaningful to you. So what would make your life more meaningful? And it may be the case that you have absolutely no idea of how you can how you can bring more meaning into your life, right? And perhaps you have no idea how you can do that. So what I always say is something that I sort of adopted from Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he said in his Power of Intention talk, which you can easily find here on YouTube. Just type in Wayne Dyer. Dyer is spelled Dyer. So Wayne Dyer, Power of Intention, and you'll be able to find it. It's like 2 hours long. And he says in that, like, if you're unsure of what to do, if you're unsure of what your purpose is, if you're unsure of why you have been put here, right? If you don't know and you're lost, right? And a lot of people have no idea, then find a way to be of service somehow, right? You know, that could be that you go on something like Quora or Reddit and you're answering people's questions and you're helping them and you're giving them advice and things like that, right? Maybe it's something like that. Or you go out and volunteer, right? Or perhaps you just put in that little extra effort work to really make someone's day. Let's say if you're in like a customer service kind of job, if you're in retail, and you really go out of your way to make other people's day and to do the best job that you can. And you may do that, and you may be able to do that, go the extra mile in your current job. So you feel like you're doing something and you're making a difference, even if like your bosses don't even notice, even if your supervisors don't even notice, even if the people on the other end who are receiving what you're giving doesn't even notice, because it's not important what they think and how they respond, it's how you feel about yourself and how that's going to make you feel, right? Because if you feel like you've done a good job, you're going to feel better about yourself. Okay, so it doesn't really matter about the affirmation you get from other people, it's about the internal affirmation. Okay. So there's a quote that I really like, and I quote it sometimes on here and on my other channel. And that is, when a man can't find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. And that's a quote by Viktor Frankl. And you can actually read his book, Man's Search for Meaning. It's actually a really tragic story. But luckily he survived, but he survived a concentration camp, right? So this was really huge, right? This guy knows suffering, right? Like really knows suffering, okay? So and basically what that quote means, to me at least, is that when people don't have that deep sense of meaning, they don't have something to help them get up and, fight for the things that they want in life and to go for it. It's because they don't have that meaning. They can't find that. So what they do instead is they numb how they feel. And they may numb how they feel by watching too much Netflix, by playing too many video games, by overindulging in food or alcohol or any other kind of substance, right? So if any of that is ringing true to you and you feel like, oh yeah, maybe I do distract myself with pleasure all the time, right? What you've got to realize is that what you could be doing is you could actually be numbing your life, right? Because you don't have any meaning. There's nothing in your life that brings you that meaning. So it's really important that you pay attention to that and you pay attention to that quote, okay? So something that I would like to leave you off with is how would you like your life to be, right? Well, ideally, like if you could have it any way that you wanted it to be, right? For you, right? For you, like how would you, what kind of area would you be living in? What would your body look like, right? What kind of career would you be in, or what would your business look like? How much money would you be earning each month, right? What kind of car would you be driving, right? How would that be for you, right? And it may be the case that you don't want much of that. Perhaps you really would like to live a minimalist sort of lifestyle, like you would like to have a cabin in the woods and you go fishing every day or something like that. So you've got to tailor it to you, right? What if you could have it any way that you wanted it to be, how would you like your life to be, right? And then you try and figure out some practical things that may help you get there, right? Because this is your life. You get one shot. Right, you get one shot at this life, and even if there is such thing as reincarnation, when you come back, you're going to have different desires and different wants, right? So, what do you want, right? Because you may change if there is such thing as other lifetimes, right? So you right now is the only version of you that should really matter, right? So, and like I said, you've only got one shot, and the days fly by so so fast. The days, the weeks, the years. And those things are going to fly by anyway. So you might as well, right? You might as well, please, you might as well be trying to use that time more productively to help you get to where you want to be. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.